And that's going to be demoed right here. Check this out. Better adjustable than on my Coyote. Next thing I want to talk about is the feel on the hydraulics. This is an impressive tractor. I like it. I actually do. Welcome to the Okie Woodsman channel. My name is Joe, and when I purchased my KIOTI CK2620, the other tractor I was highly interested in was the TYM 2515H. I'm at the Rusty Garage and Homestead with Mike, and I'm going to operate his TYM 2515H for the first time, doing some real work with it. I've already sat on this machine a little bit and noticed some differences, so once I get done operating it, I want to do a walk around and talk about the things that I noticed differently. It's absolutely amazing how apparent the differences are once you have some time on another machine. If you haven't seen Mike at the Rusty Garage and Homestead, here he is. Make sure you check out his channel. I really appreciate him having me out here today, and I want to ask him some questions about his machine. About how many hours do you have on this machine now?
63 right now.
63. Mike has an excellent video on doing the 50-hour service on this particular tractor. He's extremely thorough and does a great job on that maintenance. So far, are you happy with your machine?
I love this machine. I've got 3 tractors, 55 horse, 100 horse, and I use this machine more than all of them. It gets used almost daily around here because it is so handy.
Absolutely. I see him in his videos using it all the time, and I hop on my machine a lot, but he has quite a bit more property, animals and so forth, and so he's definitely making use of this machine in a different way than I use mine. I'm going to hop on this machine and get going, and actually I want to show you one thing I really enjoy about this machine significantly over my Coyote, and that's going to be demoed right here. Check this out. I didn't have to get on the machine and do some 3-step process to get this thing started. That's pretty cool. It's always a great day to come over to Mike's house. This is the first time I've ever started a Husqvarna 572. I'm excited to run this thing. This is Mike's new baby, and it's a pretty darn nice saw. This is a nice saw. It's just a bigger 562. That's awesome. There's that cool feature again. It's the little things in life. That's the softest, nicest dirt I've ever dug in before. like how all the hydraulics feel on the backhoe on this. It's really nice. That's not my favorite. I'm just used to, I have a nice step right here on mine, but that feels awesome.
That needs something. I need to fabricate something as a step right there.
This is an impressive tractor. I like it. I actually do. Though my time is extremely limited on this TYM 2515H, there's definitely some differences I can point out between this tractor and my KIOTI. And I do want to add at this point that no matter what machine you purchase, whether it's a KIOTI or a TYM, I think that you're making a good decision. My purpose in this video is just to bring out some of the things I notice as a KIOTI owner coming over and using this machine here. I've already made mention, but I think it's absolutely awesome that you can start this machine up by turning the key, no matter where you are in the transmission, whether the parking brake is on or depressing, like on my KIOTI, a clutch over here. It's my opinion that all the safety features actually add wear and tear on that machine. I can't tell you how many times I've had to restart that machine because I didn't do one of the things right in the sequence. Along with that, you'll notice that when I was placing that IBC tote back with the others, I was able to stand up for an extended time frame out of the seat. When you're using forks, it's critical to be able to do that, in my opinion. I can do it for a limited amount of time on my KIOTI. You don't want to stab your load with your forks, and of course with time and experience, those types of things are reduced. However, it is always nice to be able to see what you're doing. The next thing I want to talk about is the feel on the hydraulics. The hydraulics on this machine, in my opinion, feel smoother and better designed. My KIOTI is strong, and I certainly love that tractor, but I believe that the loader controls on this have a broader range where you can do multi-function a little bit better. Now, it's still not the same as a skid steer or a Kubota tractor, but it is better than what my KIOTI is in terms of its feel. Let's move on to the backhoe. No, I was not digging in hard dirt like I am on my property, but nice soft dirt like that is really good to be able to feel what the hydraulics feel like in day-to-day operation. I think that the hydraulics on this feel extremely nice. I do want to mention that Mike has worked with ITC Quick Attach, and they do make a modification to be able to relocate the seat further back because stock these seats are literally up to here. That's just simply no good. A negative on this machine versus my KIOTI is the lack of a step, and we did bring this up on the very first video where we compared side by side. I just want to be able to step here, but TYM wants you to be able to step right here. This is a high spot. To me, it just doesn't make sense. For hydraulic feel, I think that my KIOTI or this are both completely sufficient. They both operate very well. And if you were to choose to buy a backhoe for a 2515H, I think you'd be very happy, especially if you were to reach out to ITC and make this modification right here. Something I do want to go ahead and mention here is something I didn't think would actually come up as an issue, but this seat is better adjustable than on my KIOTI. My young boys hop in my tractor and move it about, and when they do, they're pushing that seat all the way forward. Without being able to compare my tractor side by side, it has a little lever that you have to slide to the side, and I find that finding the detents is not as easy as this. This you can actually move a 1/4 inch at a time, maybe a 1/2 inch. I don't know where those detents are, but it feels very easy and low effort. You know, you're just pulling up on this bar and it's just really easy and smooth to use. One bit of criticism for someone my size, I'm about 5'7" and I have about a 30-inch inseam. I liked having the seat all the way forward. It felt good, but the pedal was a little far for me. So all the way forward, this is actually a long reach for me.
Is it?
Yes, ergonomically.
You can be a tall guy and
You can be
operate this machine.
So I'm gonna say I'm 5'7". My body frame, this is totally doable. The steering wheel's very close, but the pedals are far.
Yeah.
I feel like mine would be about right here.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something to keep in mind if you're a person of shorter stature. I personally could make use of this no problem at all. Now, this does have features like cruise control and all of that. I've never found a need or desired that, but that's because my use case is different than someone wanting to brush hog or do field work or travel long distances. I believe that I would be able to work with this no problem at all. This is a much simpler machine. My KIOTI has different panels and everything. For like the rear remotes, this is how you activate the rear remote to be able to operate the backhoe. It's just a little bit different. You can see all the mechanics and everything, and I don't think that's a bad thing. A tractor is an extremely mechanical device. I really look forward to a video on Mike's channel where he'll hopefully be able to come over to my place, look at and inspect my KIOTI CK2620, and be able to kind of notice the differences like I'm doing here. I'm not really talking about drawbacks or anything like that. I'm just talking about distinct differences that once you spend 50 hours or more on a machine, you're gonna notice. I do wanna mention one more thing in the cockpit while I'm here. I felt kind of dumb. This throttle is quite stiff. If you are a person that's using this and you don't have a tremendous amount of strength in your arms, this is actually pretty stiff, honestly. Like, if you can notice, I push on this and I'm actually flexing the metal before it moves. That could be an adjustment thing, that could be a lubrication thing, that could just be a one-off on here. But I would say that on my KIOTI, that throttle actuation is quite a bit smoother. Now, that's just a real simple thing. And this machine does have like linked pedals, so you're not having to necessarily do it. I prefer adjusting my throttle on my own. If you're worried about the loader valve placement being here, yes, there's negatives to it, but in my opinion, there is nothing wrong with all of this being here. Maybe aesthetically, it might be nicer to have it here, but from a mechanical standpoint and a service standpoint, I think that's a far superior location. And while you're using it, let me get my seat where it belongs. Very easy. While you're using it, I don't think that's that big of a deal. Now, if you're doing significant loader work all day, you know, you do have an armrest that you could go ahead and adjust and maybe make it work a little bit better for you. But in times past when I've ran a Kubota L-Series tractor, this was never really an issue for me. I hope that this video was extremely interesting. If you want to know more about this tractor, make sure you visit Mike at the Rusty Garage and Homestead. I really do appreciate him having me over. We're going to do a little bit more work, and I'm actually excited to review another machine that he has. And I can tell you this, I've already been on it a little while, and I'm actually really impressed. Thanks for watching the Okie Woodsman channel, and we'll see you on the next one.